Yeah, Instinct Survival is coming again, this time with the Tagged 5 8-question challenge. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, hey, basically I get asked 8 questions. I tag 5 people in it, but these questions were one of those where, you know, I was like, I don't know. But then, hey, Kevin Johnson actually kind of talked me into it. So I was tagged by Pioneer Survival Company's Eric Stites. Dude, man, I'm sorry, bro, if that's not how you pronounce your last name. I do apologize. I mean no disrespect on that. But anyway, so thanks for tagging me in this. So let's get to it. Let's actually talk about this. So number one, first question, most memorable camping trip. So I think, although I've been on several camping trips, I think the best, most memorable one, the one that made the most impression, was actually when I took my now wife camping, my girlfriend camping, with my dog. And this was her first time. Made her carry her own gear. That was loads of fun. And we passed some not some nice looking people on the trail going up. So we hiked in about a mile and a half. Past those not so nice people, and then long story short, every noise, every crack, every anything that happened during the night, even though we were in a tent, she would either wake up or the dog would bark. So freaked her out, scared the ever-living crap out of her. So long story short, I sat up for the entire night, pistol in hand, because that was the way she wanted it, and made sure that nothing was going to happen. So I didn't have a whole lot of choice in that, but that's the most memorable in my brain. I think the some of the other ones, for those that really want to get into some stories, we'll talk about Todd Walker and I, Survival Sherpa, and I had a great trip up to Ravencliff Falls. That's definitely one of my most memorable. A couple of others was from where I grew up. So just as a by the way. Number 2, solo or group camping? Solo. I prefer being by myself. I don't sing the song all by my. Anyway, I prefer being by myself. Now that doesn't happen a lot. In fact, it's very rare. But growing up, that was all I did. I only went camping by myself. I enjoy, don't get me wrong, I enjoy camping with other folks. I enjoy the stories, the camaraderie, the fact that some of the load's not on me. I do enjoy that. Makes it for a great time to just sit back, relax, and shoot the bull, so to speak. But my preference is being by myself, listening to nature, not having an agenda, just, hey, get out there and do what you do. So there's that. Number 3, favorite knife. Well, if we're looking for a specific task, then that's a different story. Favorite knife overall, this one stays with me all the time. So it is my Swiss Army knife. Too bad you can't shoot planes out of the sky with it. Just saying, get tired of them flying over. But if we look at the bigger ones, my go-to is usually the LT Wright Bushcrafter. That's the Georgia Bushcrafter with the orange scales. Or one that I'm really digging a lot. This one has made its rounds. Several people will look at that and go, yeah, I used to own that knife. So it's made its rounds. I don't know that it's going to go anywhere after I have it. So there's that. My kids have already started laying claim to it. Go imagine that. So there's my favorite knife. 4, where did you learn the bushcrafting skills? That's a tough question. Honestly, that one was, when I looked them over, is probably the hardest one for me to answer, because there's really not a solid answer. Over the years, I've taken a lot of classes. I've done a lot of things that way to improve my skills, and then self-improvement as well. However, when we look at the baseline, where did I learn? What did I do from the beginning, if you will? I would have to say probably my biological father, my dad. I'll keep it that way. My biological father is probably the best way to put it. He taught me a good bit in camping, because we used to go camping and hunting together. My grandfather taught me a lot as well. Cherokee Indian, although not full-blooded, still taught me a lot of things. And then over the years, learned from different cultures. So I've sat down and talked and learned from Native Americans, specifically the Cherokee. I went to Africa and learned from several of the indigenous people there. Great information, great stuff. But I think the baseline, if you will, where I learned bushcrafting skills as a whole, Can you hear the other plane? This is great. Where I learned bushcrafting skills as a whole was actually in the swamps of South Georgia and South Alabama. So there's that. I did have a recommendation. Somebody said, hey, why don't you go to the swamps and learn how to do? No, dude, I've done that. I want to learn in other places. I want to learn in other areas. So no, I've done that. Thanks. It's not great. Most essential, number 6, number 5, favorite fire starting method. I've got fire method. For fun, let's go with that one first. They didn't break it out. I'm breaking it out because it's my video. I get to. For fun, I like doing the primitives. I love, thoroughly enjoy honing that skill and learning. I'm continually trying to enhance my hand drill techniques. Also doing bow drill quite often. Actually learning fire piston. How about that one? How many of you do that? So we'll get into it. I'll get you a video of that one before too long. So there's that. But then, you know, my essential, what do I normally use? I usually do a ferro rod for the most part, but I think I would have to agree with Eric, and I use a lighter. I go family camping, we use a lighter. The exception being is some of the kids, they go, hey, you know what, we want to enhance our skills. We want to do it with a ferro rod, or we want to do it with X, Y, or Z. At that point, then absolutely, you're starting fires for the weekend. That's just the way they learn. So that's kind of the way we look at that. Most essential piece of kit, that's number 6. Most essential piece of kit, number 6. That's kind of a debate for me. I know knowledge is always the big one, and even Eric said that. It was kind of funny. His answers and mine were lining up pretty close. I would have to say, because my debate is this, I'll just let you know where I'm at. Tarp or knife, right? And the reason there is a debate at all, sorry, beautiful birds behind you. But the only reason there's a debate at all is because I can go into the woods and, you know, take and monkey nap, if you will, hit a bipolar fracture in a rock and have a knife. For the most part, is it going to give me everything I need? No. So the debate is the knife or a tarp. But I think if we're looking at, you know what, if I'm going to go into the woods and I can bring one item, yeah, it's going to be my knife. So there's that. Number 7, do I carry a bug out bag in the car? No, because I don't have a car. I have a Jeep. But no, I still don't. I'm actually working on a kit for the Jeep, but I carry a backpack. It's a Scout bag. I think it's called a 3-day something. I don't know. It's not a large bag, but it gives me the 10 Cs. I have an MRE in it. So I have the equipment and the things that I need in it to make it from day to day or to get where I need to be. But if I'm carrying, much like you would a typical bug out bag, then no, I don't carry one of those in the Jeep. And number 8, even though I've read these questions a couple of times, I still get caught up in this one. Alcohol, wood, or gas stove? The answer in that one is gas stove. I typically keep a fire, but I do carry a little, I guess it's a Primus type stove. It's not a Primus, but it's a Primus type stove. So I can do my coffee. So that's an essential piece of kit, maybe. Huh? Coffee? Yeah. It is for me. It's in my bag. It's in my suitcase. It's probably in my pocket if I'd start digging around. Anyway, so that's it, guys. Hey, I'm going to put the 5 tags. I got to round up some folks. I got to put the 5 tags down in the comments below, and then let them know, or vice versa, let them know and all that. Eric, thanks, buddy. This has been it's been a hoot. It starts really, you know, making my brain think and starts, you know, opening up my eyes to some things. This has actually spawned something else, just by the way, so I'm going to kind of hijack this for a minute. This has actually spawned something. I was talking to my kids about this, and they're like, Dad, are you doing a fan favorites? I'm like, what is that? They're like, questions from the fans. Number 1, I don't know that I have fans. I have folks that watch videos. If that makes you a fan, thank you. You're a fan. But I'm going to start, I want to compile a list of questions. We're going to sit down and do this with that list of questions. We're going to have a blast with that. And who knows what happens to the person with the number 1 question. I don't know yet. I'm still working it out. So there's that. So anyway, hey, thanks for all you do. Thanks for your likes, comments, subscribes, and shares. Until then, yet another plane. Use your instincts to survive. Thanks for watching.